I'm driving and where I'm at, I use Wi-Fi reception. And for the last few days, I was trying. Hopefully, I'll have something for the women's group when I get to pop there with Yosh and Holder. I really don't. Um, reflecting and ruminating, they're two different things. So I just want to tell you that reflect, it is reflecting can allow healing. And ruminating, and when you keep ruminating and brewing on something, it can wear a groove in your mind and it can lock you into a state of trauma. But as I reflect back on the things that over the past 8 months, but over the course of, in my, what I will share with you in the course of the last 14 years, is that I always thought that staying meant you were strong. Staying in a situation, not even strong, is because I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. And so I don't like to quit. But with that part of my, y'all has to make me tap out. You know, you got to bow out gracefully and walk away. And that's where I'm at right now. I yesterday we were doing a lesson on one. There's another women's group study, and they don't record. I do. So my lesson will be when I get back on Samson. I will be talking about Samson and Judges 14. They're already in 16. And one of the things that kind of struck me in this lesson was Samson and his, God chose him from the womb. He was ordained, and there were some things that he was going to be able to do, and there were things that he was told, his parents were told that he would accomplish for Israel in his lifetime. Samson had a impulsive personality, and so he acted a lot of times on impulsivity. But it didn't change the fact that Yah chose him. Now, with that being said, and because of my tenant, doesn't mean that I'm not chosen to do certain work, but I have to check it with the word to make sure that it's falling in line with what is useful for the kingdom. And so in Christianity, I stayed in this covenant, this marriage, for 14 years because of the fact that the scripture in Malachi, Yah hates divorce and the putting away of a bride. And out of context, he hates divorce. Yeah, okay, he hated the way that they were choosing to divorce. But in a covenant, we know that it is broken the minute adultery is committed. Now, there's such thing as reconciliation. God is all about reconciliation because with his blood, he reconciled the world back to himself with the sacrifice of Hamashiach. And that was done once and for all. There was not a continuum. So I had to really have my mind washed with the word to get rid of the doctrine that my mind had been primed with, that staying made me strong, and it was a witness, and it was a witness to others that, what a marriage was supposed to be. But guess what? Staying can weaken you in a situation where there is sheer darkness, and there is deceit, and there is no light. And when the person chooses to operate in that fashion, you have to walk away. So that's where my lesson came from today. Walking really makes you strong. So I was at my aunt's 85th birthday about 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. And she had all these affirmations on her table at her 80th birthday. She had a picture of herself when she was 22, and then she had a picture of herself at every year, every age, and every stage of her life. And I remember her telling me one time when I went to visit her, LA we call her, she's my aunt Betty. And she said, "You see that girl on that wall right there? At 22. Well, I thought I knew it, only couldn't tell me nothing." And she says, "But my mama told me to keep living." And I remember those same words from my grandmother's sister. She said, "Oh, baby, you think you've seen it all, but you keep living." And I was like, "Well, why do people do that? Or why did she do this?" You keep living. You'll find yourself in situations. You'll find yourself in scenarios, and you will learn lessons. The best thing to do is to come out of it with a lesson. It might hurt, but to come out with a lesson. So yesterday we were talking about that too, also with the kids, and I was asking them, when has it been a time when y'all or your parent has told you to do something and you didn't do it, and you made a choice, and then you could make choices, but you don't know what the consequence will be. And the kids all talked about falling and running and falling, and their parents told them not to run, and they showed me their scars. And I said, yes, scars are awesome sometimes because it shows where you were injured and you were allowed to heal. But you know what you do? You never forget what happened from that scar, from the trauma. So even though the scar is healed, there's a mark there. So you should be able to look back at that mark and see where you have been delivered from and not to do it again. Because you know, shalom, you know the exact day, time, instance. You probably remember the things that were said. You can even, I'm so nostalgic. I can remember a smell can take me back to a place. And I can remember everything that happened. You know, songs can do that. And so, fast forward to staying, can weaken you, and walking away makes you strong. So the affirmations on the table, one of them were, she said, "I thought that staying made me strong, but it's walking away that made me stronger." Because we can become so comfortable in a situation, and I'm speaking about myself again. I become so comfortable and also numb in this situation that it's like, okay, whatever. That's just what he do. He ain't doing it to me, doing it to himself. All along, I'm building up more resistance and becoming more callous and turning a blind eye to the things that are done and or killing my witness, because when I do get upset and frustrated, the things that come out of my mouth and the way that I act aren't a testament to who Yah is and the Father is. And it has been long overdue, but it would have done a better, done the person better. I had walked away because as I had become comfortable, they had become even more comfortable with doing the things to me, saying sorry, telling me all the things I want to hear, and doing them again. So that just put me in the walking away as I ruminate, and not ruminate, reflect, because I've ruminated for a long time. That's why I stayed, because at some point I'm gonna make you miserable, I'm gonna ignore you, I'm gonna hurt your feelings, I'm gonna act like I don't care, because the things you do show you don't care. I created this kind of push and pull situation, so I got something out of it by holding on to frustration, anger, and reminding you what you've done, but you keep doing it. And then I would trick myself and say, well, maybe they keep doing it because I keep talking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. So even when I didn't talk about it, they did it. And y'all finally had to turn the situation upside down, because I prayed and I prayed for. I finally it was revealed to me. I said, you know what? It only worked because I wanted it to. It was witchcraft. The situation, the apology, all of it was words, but the deeds kept showing me who you were. And this time, a situation that transpired, Yah gave me the privilege, although every time you revealed yourself or you behaved in a certain way or did certain things and said something different, the veil was, I had the privilege of seeing, because this vessel is just a veil of who we really and truly we, this vessel, is basically the whatever our bodies have practically acted out. It is the subconscious mind that has controlled it, or the spirit man, and it is who we are, and it is what we fed, and what we out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. Conscious of your thoughts or your deeds, and that's where they come from. And so, when a person has shown you who they really are, quit trying to sugarcoat it. Quit trying to sprinkle. Here we go with this Wi-Fi, you guys. Again, I'm leaving town. I'm going into town. I'm on my way to work. I apologize, but so when a person shows you who they are, you believe them. I wanted what I heard to be what the person was, because that's why I stayed. And call it a measure of faith, or just at some point crazy. But the scales had to be removed, because if a person keeps doing the same thing and telling you something different, their actions are who they are. It is not, they did not mean to do it. It is, they like to do what they do, and I like me and what I want to do more than how you feel. So I had the conversation with a good friend of mine, I call her my sister, and she says, so why do you believe this person continued to do A, B, and C to you? Is it because you let them? I said, I'm not going to take the blame for all of it. No, the person was able to continue with the actions and doing the things that injured me because I stayed in the relationship. But this person has been behaving this way their whole life. So no matter, it doesn't matter if it's me, the girl around the corner, the girl across the street. Their character is I lie, manipulate. So I don't care who I do it to. If it flies with them, it's gonna happen. And so again, when a person shows you who they are, you believe them. And I have never believed a lie that I didn't want to be true. I knew it was a lie. I knew you were cheating. I knew you, but I wanted you to be able to do what you said you were going to do, and that was stop doing it, or give me what it was I deserve in this relationship, because the marriage is honorable, right? Above all things, it's supposed to be revered, and you don't know how to do that. So I'm staying, and I'm trying to show you what love is, hoping that you will reciprocate it. One thing I've learned in dark places is some people choose the dark. And yeah, even though I'm the light, and we're called to be the light of the world and salt of the earth, darkness, when people choose to stay in darkness, you must flee, because it will overwhelm you and consume you. And you will find yourself slipping in the darkness, operating in darkness, and believing you're still a light, and you won't be. And the enemy's goal, his goal, and I know that his goal is to utterly destroy, but yeah, has his hand on the chain, still pulling him back and holding him. He would have killed me, the enemy, in these situations that I've been going through, if not for Yah, because he wants to render you useless and ineffective. And as I say, walking away is the heart is hard, but it also makes you strong. It shows you that out of coming out of an uncomfortable place, there is growth. As I am transitioning into different and morphing into different facets of myself, you realize more about yourself. There are some things going through life at 20 I thought I never could handle, and I lived past it, and it made you a better person, and you learned a lesson from it. There are things that I've gone through when I was 30 that I thought were going to kill me, and I've grown past it and have become a better woman because of it. But now it's time in my walk, and I know in some other women's walks as well. Once you've been equipped with all of these lessons, it's not just for me, it is for somebody else. So my earnest heart's desire is to be able to empower and uplift and help another woman out of darkness, out of dark places, out of self-doubt, out of shrinking, out of allowing someone else who's really in darkness steal your light, because the abyss is what it is. The abyss does not stop sucking the life out of you, does not stop sucking the light from you. The abyss it operates on the principle of next victim, not reciprocity. So me walking out of this dark place was the Father giving me the power, although it hurt because there was a lot of disruption and more things revealed than I wanted to know, but I was equipped to understand and to be okay because of it. He showed me that He is my source, and you can really become so dependent on the very thing that is depleting you, and thinking that they are, and they make you think the same thing, that they are empowering you, that if you leave it's going to be your fault, or if you walk away you're going to regret it. And you know what? I regret staying more than I regret walking away, and it's been on more than one occasion that I had over a 14-year period. You can imagine a person getting fed up. But glory to Yah for not losing my mind, my freedom, and ultimately my life. Like I said, the lesson that I want to deliver, pray for me, because when I was trying to upload spiritual warfare, it was war. There has been a war waged, and so I know that there are more than me things, these hard situations and circumstances coming into who you are truly meant to be in Hamashiach and in this walk. People have, I have so much more respect for a person when they can talk about where they've been versus what they've been, and it is empowering, and it is also gives you a sense of familiarity where you don't feel so alone in all that's going on. And so, ladies, my brethren as well, I'm going to leave you out. If you are in a situation that is rendering you sore, working you tired, step back, step out, get into some meditation and prayer, and believe what Yah shows you. Vibes don't lie. Mouths do. People do. People will lie, but their actions are who they are. We were at a tournament, and Hola and I, at her little sister's basketball tournament, and the situation took place. And I walked away from the battle, but I almost lost. The war has been won already. I walked away, and I almost lost the battle because of my mouth. And she had to remind me. She said, "Mom, witness. It's all about witness." And it was just so simple as a seat, and about some things that weren't said. But again, like I said, the enemy to render you not effective. And so it was over a seat, and we had been sitting there watching this game, and I'm not going to go into it. And so I got up and walked away, but I felt the resistance in me, wanting to say, because simply the woman, all she had to say was, hey, you guys, are you guys, you know, we've been sitting here and our team is going to play next. I mean, you guys have been sitting here for the last 2 games. But she was talking around the situation, which kind of just ticked me because I'm very straightforward. So I kind of stood there a little while. Again, the resistance, the passion. I stood there a while, and then I finally told the other kids, come on, let's go, the seat's down here. When I could have done it in the beginning, and then I went on to attack. And then my baby said, Mom, witness. It's all about witness. I said, okay. So the walking away makes you stronger, because it leaves the other person to focus on what it is that they did, not engaging anymore. And even in this situation that I'm in, I'm not engaging anymore. My response to this person and all of the accusations, because now I can see the enemy full force coming, is you know what you did. You know what you did. You know what you did. You had ample amount of time to really make good on what it was you said you weren't going to do anymore, and what it was, the character flaws that caused the relationship to break, and to break the foundation of the relationship. So you know what you did. I'm not going to engage. I don't love this person more than you. I didn't put this person before. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. You know what you did. I'm going to keep turning the mirror towards you and redirecting the focus on you so that I can heal. So walking away, there's strength, there's healing, and there's a place of refuge. Stay there. And as I encourage you, I'm encouraging myself. I'm going to quit looking for resources in people that are incapable, who are broken, who don't even know the master and aren't willing to lay themselves before the master and for the master to see and look at their faults. I'm going to remove myself so that the person can focus on them, because I've done you more of a disservice staying and allowing you to behave the way you behaved versus removing my presence. So again, in walking away, there's strength, because it takes a lot to get up off the ground and stand up after you've fallen. Not just 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5 times. People are watching, people are waiting, and people are looking for another person who has been liberated and walking in the love, overcoming with Torah and embracing one another in love, and unadulterated sheer love. So you all have a wonderful day, and my grandbabies have been more than gracious. They have not even started cutting up. They let me do 24 minutes. So you guys all be blessed. Shalom. Yes.